Hey, we are live. Can you hear me okay? Well, Jim, Keith, Bonnie, Ed. I appreciate Bonnie and Jim using separate computers. That way I get 2 extra viewers. Let's see, who else is here? Well, it says there are, oh, Bob's here, Schumann. Says there are 8. That's pretty low. Let me get my tuner. Roger's here. Rick Nelson. Rick Nelson, the guitar player for Cheap Trick. That would be cool. I've met him. I have a pic actually somewhere from him that he gave me at the NAMM show. He was doing something at the Taylor booth, and so I saw him there. Hook, good to see you. Well, oh, 25, wow, okay. Oh yeah, I see 21 here. It's weird, it's different numbers everywhere. So hopefully I'll be here Wednesday. Tonight, or this afternoon in just a few hours. So I'm gonna keep this pretty short. Just 2 blocks from me, they're gonna start a protest. We finally buy our first house after 35 years of saving, scrimping and saving, and it's gonna get burnt to the ground. You can be praying for us. Beth and I are just going to stay home and try to stay quiet, and hopefully they'll be parking on our street and walking up and down our street, I guarantee it, to get to where the protest is going to be. But yeah, they're definitely, I'm a little stressed, so this is not going to be, oh, I forgot to turn on the light. This is not going to be a very long one. More of a review of DADGAD, so. And I'm in standard tuning right now, so yeah, the protest is start. There's like a Starbucks and a bunch of shops and everything at the corner of Zelza and Chatsworth, and we're just a couple blocks from there, so we'll see. I may come on tomorrow if everything's okay, but I hope there's not too much vandalism. I walked down the street today, and it's all just like nail salons and hair places and computer repair places and little restaurants and stuff, and they're all putting signs up saying minority owned and stuff like that. But I don't think that really stops anybody. It hasn't affected too much, but we'll see. But hopefully we'll be safe. Oh, right, Roger, you live in Santa Monica, yeah. Hopefully they'll stay out of the neighborhoods, but I think that's kind of the point now. There are protests all over today, all over LA, and all different, more suburban areas. And hopefully they'll stay totally, want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I will be placing my hard drives in a safe place and things that I can't replace. We'll see. May have to get out of town, but I don't know. We'll make preparations for that. Yeah, I'll okay, I can do that, Bonnie. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, Santa Monica was a total blank storm. Okay, so yeah, they probably won't do much in Santa Monica today. That's why I think they're moving out into the four corners of LA to try to spread the LAPD thin, is my guess. I did take a walk to the intersection to make sure there wasn't a pallet of bricks there suddenly just appearing. It makes no sense. Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, at this point, they're not breaking into houses and stuff, but I think that's kind of when they get bored with businesses, that may be the next thing, Ed. So we may have to leave. Seriously, probably going to put the house on the market next week and move out of town, move out of state. I don't know. We'll see. May keep you posted on this. Okay, so I'm in standard right now. Eat at Denny's, get bad eggs. Thank you, Gary. So standard. So again, first thing I like to do is I like to take that low E string and tune it down to D. And generally I'll go below D and come up to it so the string kind of has a chance to settle a little bit. And I've got Elixir lights on here, so I think 12 on top and 53 on the bottom, I think. So they're okay for tuning down. If I went down to C, it would get really pitchy. You might want to have heavy strings if you're going to do that. And then, okay, so this is drop D. Everybody loves that. Everybody loves drop D. So then what I do is I go ahead and go to the top string and drop, and I hit the open D string, fourth string, and I hit the high E string. There we go. And so now I got double drop D, right? So it's D, A, D, G, B, D. Oh yeah, it was fun this weekend, huh? So it's like you have kind of the top of open G and the bottom of open D, which is really nice. Again, like I always show you, it's great for slide. All right, so then if we go, if we take the A string, hit the open A string, and then the open B string, we want to lower. See, I can hear the rattle in this guitar when I tune this down, so I know there's something loose in here. Okay, I got it. The D string went sharp again. Because it wants to go, string's going to want to go back to where you had it for hours, days, whatever. Okay, so now I'm in DADGAD, which is D-A-D, G-A-D. Trying to get fine-tuned here. So I should have touched my face so you could have all taken a drink. Sorry. Okay. So now I'm in DADGAD. The kind of the first thing we talked about was about DADGAD and playing in it. We talked about some chords, playing. Basically, you can play. When I did those shapes, the major. Verdi's not on is, oh, Verdi's there. Oh yeah. Now I'm learning about bricklaying, but I haven't even attempted it yet. And I think was it oh, Vito's here? Vito's not here. 5 sips. But the Vito was the one that said, you know, you could do a bar, you know, like that could be if you played this, it would be kind of an A. It would be kind of a weird. It's got the A, and then we got the C sharp against it. So basically, you've got 7 7 7 6 0 0, and this would be kind of an A4 chord, meaning it's an A triad with the fourth added, which is a D natural. And then this one is, if you move it down, that's 5 5 5 4 0 0, and that is G2. And then this one, 9 9 9 7 0 0, is basically a B minor 7. And you notice I put a space in here to accommodate, make it it's a minor chord now. And then if you want to go up here, so but you can start to eliminate. You could play the bottom two and this one. So you could do like for the A, that's kind of interesting sounding. The A one could be 7 7 0 6 0 0, and that would be again A4. Because you got 2 D strings this time. I move down. So, and you could do any variation on that. We could also do, let's see, 7 X 7 6 0 0, or you could do like 7 X 0 6 0 0. I kind of like that because it's very DADGAD sounding, and so yeah, I'm a bully. I don't know. Oh, I don't know what that is, but whoops. Okay, so. So now, but and then we learned some scales. I don't know that I want to go over these again. But one observation, the thing about DADGAD is that this is basically a D sus chord, okay? D, A, D, G, A, D, all right? D, oh, I did drop pick, take a sip. Good eye, Hook. Yeah, Chris, it definitely has that sound, doesn't it? Yeah, I noticed that too. But so basically what you have is kind of a non-major minor chord. So a D triad is D, F sharp, A. A D minor triad is D, F, A. All right. And so we have neither we don't have an F or an F sharp in here, so you can't really tell if it's major or minor. So, and then if I want to do some kind of major thing, I'm probably going to want to get rid of that G. So I'll put my first finger on the second fret of the G string. So now I have DADGAD. A lot of D's and A's, nothing but D's and A's. And then I can put my third finger here on the fourth fret to get D major or D minor. I could do the same thing. Remember, anything we do on the D strings, we can do to all D strings. So here's D minor, here's D major. so that can be a really very, very major sound. Or if I do the same thing, but instead of playing the third or the fourth fret, I play the third fret. In fact, one thing I noticed was in DADGAD, if you just kind of play open and mess around with at the third fret, you get a lot of minor D minor sounds. And if you do the same thing at the fourth fret, you get a lot of major tones. So like, for example, if it's very major sounding. But if I do the same thing, that's a little weird on the G string, but it's legitimate. And that's a D minor note. If I were playing D minor. Oops. There's a B flat right there. So. Yeah, it's an easy melody, exactly. And you could do that up the neck if you want too. So like, in other words, if you want to go, that would be G, like a G, like a G minor. You can do G minor stuff, and then back to D minor. But again, if you just play here at the fifth fret and you bar the fifth fret, you get basically a G sus chord, just like this is a D sus chord. Okay, and again, sus is when you go up a half step from the major third, the third of a chord. So D, F sharp, A. You go up from F sharp to G, and you get rid of the F sharp. So it wants to be resolved. It's like, right? Sus chords generally want to be resolved, and they can want to resolve to minor chords too. And so when you have when you have the third in there, then that's a different chord. So if I had the third and the G, the F sharp and the G, that would be called a D4 chord. I would call that a D4 chord. That was one of the things I made up. So, Sean Daniels, one day when I'm older, like tomorrow, I'll do my guitar. Hello from South Africa. God bless you from South Africa, Sean. Yeah, you can hit the like button. That would be awesome. It says I have no likes, but I don't think that's true. Okay, so those are some of the things that we covered in the first 3 videos, right? So this is the 4th video on DADGAD. I did talk about doing some pentatonic shapes, so we might do some of that as well. I think, did I not print up? I got a new rug too in here. I think I printed up another form to fill out. What did I do with that? If not, I can easily print one. I guess I didn't. So, oh wait. So many papers, so much mess. All right, so I'm going to print up another one real quick, and that way I can do a couple pentatonic shapes for you. Let's see. Where would that be? That would be in here. Live stream. Oh, I got to look at the view here. There we go. Okay. Now, and then what I'll try to do is, if I get a chance, I'll scan this and post it to Discord. Did I post the other to Discord too? The major and minor, all those D scales. Wait, this is probably it right here. If I did this, yeah, I scanned it, so definitely. Oh, I thought I printed. Wait, oh, there we go. My lights always flicker when the printer kicks on. Kind of weird. So as we start to figure out some pentatonic scales, D minor, we can start with a D major pentatonic would be D, E, F sharp, A, and B. the crazy thing about this, the pentatonic, especially the D major pentatonic, I'll go ahead and use the guitar desk, is that we actually skip the G string altogether. So not the G string, which is weird. A, B. And I'm writing basically 2 octaves of it, and then you can continue it on. But this is D major pentatonic. Okay. You can see it's kind of symmetrical, and you can see, okay, well, on all 3 D strings you're doing the same thing. On the A strings you're doing the same thing. So you could see where you could probably, on this scale or pattern, you could really blaze on it. Except you want to... And if you were in... Hey, Leo. Oh yeah, you got a snark. I got my snark out. So anyway, you can transpose this if you want. That would be a nice challenge if you're looking for the next level. But basically, we're looking at open D string, 2nd fret. So use your 1st finger, 4th fret, open A string, 2nd fret, open D string, 2nd fret, 4th fret, skip the G string, open A string, 2nd fret, open E string or top string, and then 2nd fret and 4th fret. So 4 2 0 2 0, skip 4 2 0 2 0 4 2 0. Yeah, we're doing DADGAD. Okay, and then so I'm just trying to do some. And you can let that G string ring out. That's totally fine. It creates a nice complement to a lot of the notes, like the F sharp. You know how I feel about that half step there. It's beautiful. And then we can do the D minor. So the D minor, the notes in the D minor pentatonic. Let me write out the notes in the D major pentatonic. Oh yeah, I'll show it again here in a second once I write the minor one out. You can do a screenshot if you want. So the D major pentatonic is this. All right. Now, the D minor pentatonic is D. Let's see, D, F, G, A, C, and that's D minor. Okay, so So the way we'll do this is D, then I said F, G. Remember, we can't, it's not, we got to go play the G up here. So we got, it's interesting. It's an interesting because we can use the G string this time. If you skip, you could skip the G string and do the same thing on the bottom string as you do on the fourth string. But basically, that's what I'm doing. So it's a little on the odd side, but it's fun. Okay, D minor pentatonic, and again, that's the same thing. You can kind of just kind of mess around with it. Let's see about, I can do the Mixolydian Pentatonic. I really like that one too. Let me see if I can figure that one out. Here. Okay. All right, let's see. Who was it that missed the screenshot? Verdi, was that you? Okay, you're out. Can you leave the room for a second? Because I'm going to, I'm just kidding. So there are the two there. Now, the D Mixolydian Pentatonic, the difference between D Major Pentatonic and D Mixolydian Pentatonic is we're going to take the B's here and here and make them C's. So you end up with this. Let's see. That's a great scale to use over a the Mixolydian Pentatonic is a great scale to use over. Oh, you know what? I need the desk. Over a D7 chord or a seventh chord. So if you use a G Mixolydian Pentatonic over G7, it sounds great. Okay, but we didn't use the G string, so I had to skip the G string. But all I did was take that first scale, and I took the B's and went up a half step. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Big squirrel in the room today. All right, so that's what that one looks like. Kind of cool. It looks like X's on there and stuff like that. Yeah, let me post a Discord link, Adrian. Yeah, I'll post. I'm sorry, I didn't see that, Adrian. Hey, Margaret, how you doing? I gotta open up. I have it on Safari. All right. Copy. All right, so there's the Discord link, and if I get a chance, when I'm done here, I'll scan this and post it to, I think it's Tom's Bookmarks or Tom's Homework. Yeah, diatonic scales and DAD. Yeah, so it's in Tom's Bookmarks. And everybody's pretty cool here, helpful, try to be encouraging to each other. Oh, you haven't done the string change yet? Yeah, I should see what guitar, well, if I'm still here tomorrow, then maybe later this week I can do a let's change strings together video. Actually, it would be fun to have like a classroom of people and like do it all together at the same time. It would be chaos, but it would be kind of fun. Yeah, everybody's worried about it. Well, we'll see. I tend to worry about things, and it tends to not be a big deal. So, well, Beth and I'll stay inside. Oh, people worry. It's because just basically 2.5 blocks from my house, they're going to do a protest tonight, or it's starting at 3 o'clock. So it's 1:30 or 12:30, 11:30 now. So we're hoping that and they'll be parking up and down our streets to get to the protest and everything like that. So I'm just hoping they just leave houses alone. I mean, if I get my house spray painted, that's the worst, then I'll be happy. But I'm going to stay inside. Beth is going to stay inside. My boys have guns, but they live in Pasadena, and I'd really prefer them not to come out here. I'd rather have them stay where they are. So, yes, and then you can log into there's a sub-channel, exactly. No, tomorrow is, we're doing them every other week. We record our church services, we record 2 at a time. And the pastor said his plan is for us to be back in the building doing regular services August 1st and 2nd. I don't know, we'll see. The church works a lot with the police department and the city of LA. They've done all sorts. Anytime there's a fireman's funeral or a policeman's funeral or anything like that, they let them use our facilities for free. Anytime the city wants to have meetings and everything. Thanks, Margaret. Yeah, I wish. I don't see any end. We'll see until people start getting arrested. But if they just kind of let them do it, it's not going to stop. You start on Father's Day. Nice. Yeah, I think we'll see. We'll see what it's going to look like August 1st. Because remember, our sanctuary seats 3,500 people. So if they limit us to 100 people, well, kind of no point. But we're already talking about that, and we're probably going to do, I think, in 2 weeks or next week when we film again. They may have people in there worshiping in little groups, and we may film them as well to add to the service videos. But yeah, we're filming our worship services separate from the pastor's messages, so we just kind of do 2 in a row. And our church is very tech savvy. So thanks, Adrian. Oh, I touched my face, guys. You can take a drink. Screen Capped. I had a band in high school called Screen Capped, which is weird because it was like the late 70s. So take a sip because that's one of the rules. I'm not allowed to say, I'm allowed to say it, but if I say we had a band in high school called, so. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? All right. So the DADGAD thing. Again, like I said, it's I'm not a fingerstyle guitarist. It's not my forte, as you know. But I'm an avid experimenter, and even in DADGAD, I kind of know my fretboard pretty well. Who was it that pointed out that if you play the top 3 strings barred, that's a 2 chord, and the root is this. So this would be a D2 chord. You have D, E, and A, right? What was it? Sounds like the Crowded House song. But if you go up 2 frets on the 2nd string, that makes it a D major triad or a D minor. So it's cool. You can get a 2 chord minor very easily. Here's E major over a like DAD. It's kind of cool. Very Lydian sounding. This would be an A chord. This one. You're talking about the bottom two open, Gary, and then 5, 4, 5, 5. Let's see. That would be D, A, G, B, D, G. So that's basically G over D with an A in it. Okay. A G over, like a G over A. Okay. Just bear with me for a second. There will be no quiz on this at the end of the week. Okay. But if you have a G over A chord, all right, everybody take a sip. Because that's a celebratory sip. If I say there's no quiz on this at the end of the week, you get to take a celebratory sip. All right. If you count up from G, okay, and we go up. If a G chord has a G in the bass, it's root position or root inversion. If the third is in the bass, so we have 1, 3, 5. So the notes in a chord, seventh chord, for example, 1, 3, 5, 7. We have 4 notes, and then 9. Ninth would be the fifth note, so those notes would be, like, for example, for G9, that would be G, B, D, F, and A. Okay, and so G, B, D, F, and A. All right, if you put the G in the bass, it's root inversion. If you put the B in the bass, it's first inversion. If you put the D in the bass, it's second inversion. If you put the F in the bass, like the lowest note is F in a G9 chord, then that would be technically third inversion. And if you put the A in the bass, it's fourth inversion. All right, so I'm going to change guitars here so you can all take a sip. And so G over A on standard tuning is like you can play this little G triad and put an A in the bass. I always think of that. So that's like, basically, people call this an A11 chord, but I don't think there's enough notes that really justify A11. I always call it G over B or G over A. But, and so again, no quiz, don't worry. But it's basically a fourth inversion G chord. Okay, but Earth, Wind, and Fire would do this with their horns. Right? I'm going like, I go up a whole step, up a half step, up a whole step, up a half step. All right, so that's just my little lesson on that chord. But yeah, basically what you just wrote out there was kind of a pseudo G over A, G over this one. That would be a G over A. But then if you add, that's more of a G over D-ish, but there's also a 5, so anyway. What's for lunch? I don't know. If you move your first finger down, Gary, you get a minor, G minor chord. Which is kind of cool. And you can move that around too, Gary. I mean, what was it? Who was it? This Verdi or somebody said that you basically just move and stuck chords around, take any chord, move them around. And also remember that you haven't changed the A string, the D string, and the G string. So those strings will be. You can do, like, if you're doing E, you can. That's still an E chord. At least those 3 notes are. So this would be like a G chord over the D centric. So I'm just doing G, basically G, A, G, and D. Because that would be where you would, if you played a bar chord, that would be where that E shape is, okay? Baked salmon, I'll be right over. I wish. Yeah, there's some fun things you can do with harmonics. We should talk about that sometime too. All right, so let's see. Any questions? This will probably be the last lesson on DADGAD because I can't really think of anything else. Like I said, you can kind of combine some of this new knowledge you have in DADGAD with some of the finger picking stuff. And kind of have fun with that. But let's see. Oh man, I am so ready for sushi. I can't wait for my restaurants to open back up so I can go get some sushi. It's such a bummer. So, and then let's see. Today's Monday. Yeah, and then Alex and I jammed on Saturday. We were on for like an hour and a half. I tried to get Beth in the video, but she knew something was up right away because we had the ottoman pushed pretty far away from us, and because I had to get the camera away from us so that we could. Oh, am I going to tab out the chords? Oh, I don't even know what chords I did. But basically, you just the two shapes you want to learn, like is like, for example, for G, it would be 5-5-5-4-0-0, and then G minor would be 5-5-5-3-0-0, for example. But you could do any as long as you have this note. That's the third. As long as you have the first finger note or the the first finger note, the note that's on the G string. As long as you have that, you will have your major minor tonality in the chord, and then you're probably going to want the bottom note. So any of those, and those are just the basic chords I kind of came up with to be able to play major and minor triads in any key in DADGAD. So if you can simplify any song into just basic minor and major chords, then you could probably play it in DADGAD. The only thing is that it's going to be very D-centric. It's going to have a lot of D's in it. It's going to get old. Kind of the reason I originally did that was because I thought, there's probably guys out there that play in DADGAD all the time, and every now and then they want to go into like on a live gig or something like that. They want to go into some standard song, maybe a Beatles song or something like that, and they don't want to necessarily do an arrangement. They just want to play the chords. Well, that's kind of an easy way to play the chords as long as you're in D. Now the thing is, you can always capo and change keys, and you can also DADGAD's not, like I said, the top four strings are it's a G2 tuning actually, but it's kind of a G tuning a little bit. So if you were in the key of G, it wouldn't sound too bad. It's still going to have a lot of the D's and A's ringing out, and so it's going to be a very D-centric song no matter what you do in DADGAD. But you can always capo and get out of that to kind of make it so it's not every song you're playing is not have a lot of D's and A's in it. But that was kind of why I originally wrote that, did that video, was because I thought there might be players that want to be able to drop into a chord or into a song where they have they're normally playing fingerstyle stuff, but they want to just go into a strumming song or something like that. So. But basically what you do with DADGAD, I think, and somebody said this earlier, is just experiment. Just move things around and try things. And then generally, if I were to write a song, and I have written songs in DADGAD, I would tab them out. I would use tab. I wouldn't use music because it's just going to be, the brain is just not going to be able to decipher that. So, you guys are talking about sushi. Yeah, I think my favorite sushi place in Long Beach burned to the ground last night, so that was a bummer. But I hadn't been there in years. I used to go to the one, they had one in Pasadena. It was called Sushi of Naples in Pasadena, and the same owners. And the reason they called it Sushi of Naples in Long Beach because it was on Naples Boulevard, and the Sushi of Naples in Pasadena, they just called it that because the Sushi of Naples in Long Beach was pretty popular and pretty known. And so they just took that name recognition and brought it to Pasadena, but I didn't know. I'd never heard of Sushi in Naples in Long Beach. So I would walk by this place called Sushi in Naples, and I thought, because hybrid, back in the early 90s, hybrid restaurants were like all the rage, where they would take, there was a place that did Italian, Chinese food, things like that. They would mix fusion cuisine, you know, was a big thing. So I thought it was some kind of weird fusion restaurant. So I never went to it because I'm like, yeah, if I want sushi, I'll just go to a sushi place. And it turns out it was just a regular old sushi place. And I ended up going there all the time to the one in Pasadena. So yeah, yeah, I know, right? I haven't eaten yet today. I got to eat something because I'm already just a little stressed. Hoping and praying that we'll be fine. Just so frustrating. But yeah, Alex and I had a great time, and we're hoping to do that again. Alex is over on Thursdays, most weeks, and so I could feasibly do that again on Thursday. But it was just fun to do on a Saturday. So yeah, well, yeah, stocked wise, yeah, we're stocked. My concern is that people are gonna, you know, damage the house or something, because we're really close to where they're gonna be marching. So we're like a block away, and a very short block too. So we'll see. Hopefully they won't be messing with stuff on the way to the march. I think I'm gonna have Beth park away, and then I'll go pick her up and bring her here. She's gonna come home early from work. So anyway. Well, the National Guard's been called they were in Santa Monica, but I don't know if they're going to be in Granada Hills. The thing is, they've got so many protests planned now all over LA, they've spread them all out. So I think what they're trying to do is kind of spread out the police force so they can't really show up in force anywhere. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong on that. I hope it's all peaceful. I have some friends that are going to be there, and I know they're not going to go and get into trouble. They want to stand in solidarity, but at the same time, I think they also want to kind of make sure that the minority of the people that want to do damage stay in the minority. But we'll see. I'm going to keep my lights off, and I'm going to just keep my head low and just hope they walk right by. Yep. So let's see. Any other questions though about guitar stuff? Oh, doors. Are we up to door story? Oh, for story. Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've got a story. Let's see. I need to write some down. When I told one the other day. I told two stories the other day. We were with some friends, and they were dying. They were laughing so hard, and I was like, oh, I got to remember that story for you guys. I totally forgot. Okay, I'm going to go back to standard tuning now. Okay, so I'm in DADGAD, but I'm going to go back to standard tuning. So start with the top string, go up to E. Got my snark tuner here. Just put a fresh battery in it. Oh, weird. Oh, yeah, it doesn't light up unless there's notes. It was getting very dim. It takes a second because you just had the strings looser, so they're kind of like, oh, I thought we were going to be looser. Now you want us to be taut. Now, when I was studying classical guitar, my teacher always taught me to tune in octaves like this. And what you would do is if the E string was in tune, low E string was in tune. This was really good for your ear, actually. Get that low E string in tune. And you go low E and then this E up here. And you tune it and make sure this E's in tune. And then once that's done, you go to the low G here and you tune the open G. And then what you do is you take the A on the G string and go down an octave and tune the low A string to this A note. And then you go to this and tune the B string. I'm not sure why he did it, but it seemed to work. It seemed to work really well. One of the things it did do, I noticed, I mean, I could talk about all different ways of tuning, but everybody has tuners now. But one of the things I felt it did was when you're playing a lot of classical guitar stuff, a lot of stuff's in the first position, especially early on. and it really made the first position sound in tune, because you would make micro adjustments backwards too as you were tuning. So you wouldn't just be tuning up the strings; you'd be coming like up the strings and then back a little bit, and then up the strings and a little bit, things like that. So, oh, the Gypsy jazz chords. Oh, the one we were using. Yeah, the any other cool chords in DADGAD? No. Poor Verdi. Yeah, now I'm not in it. So basically, there's really one chord you can do in Gypsy jazz that will work in a lot of situations, but basically it's just this. And so what I'm playing is an A minor 6. So it's basically A minor 6 is A, C, E, F sharp. That could be played like this. It's a movable chord because you're going to be deadening. All right. Like that. You're going to be deadening everything. You move up to D. And then what I'm doing when I move to B, the B, I'm not really playing B minor 6, although it is a B minor 6. Really what you're doing is playing an E7 chord, but you're putting the 5th in the bass. So this could be considered this could be either A minor 6, or it could be D7, but in second inversion, which is with the A in the bass. Okay, so sometimes if you want a 7th chord, you can play this, but you just have to remember that you're not playing the root anywhere in this little shape. So, but see that E minor 9. You would go to A minor 9 or A minor 6. Sorry, to D minor 6. To E7 maybe. So there you go. What scale? Oh, Leo, you're asking again. Well, it just depends. Basically, there's Gypsy. It's I wouldn't want to say there's any kind of one thing you would do, but I'm kind of playing. Playing a like a kind of a melodic minor scale, like in this case, you might A melodic minor, which would be A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. But that G sounds good too if you get to so there's really almost no note you can't justify. So scale-wise, it's hard to say. I would think necessary scales. The best stuff is when you play melodies. And one thing I noticed too, like remember Django only had 2 fingers, so you almost have to figure. And he's kind of the godfather of Gypsy jazz guitar. You almost have to imagine licks that ways of playing through scales as if you only had 2 fingers. Now I bought this book a while back. It's an interesting thing. It was written by one of the original guitar players for Oingo Boingo. And he's not on any of the big hit records. He left or was kicked out of the band or whatever, but that's kind of his claim to fame. But he's also kind of a Gypsy jazz, or more specifically a Django Reinhardt aficionado. And so he came out with this book with, he did it in kind of a weird way. He wrote the same, so it's a pretty thick book, and I think it's got the scales or the solos, like songs with the solos, out and written in music notation, no tab. and if I remember correctly, and I've got it, but it's packed away. Um, and then the first half of the book is written like how you and I would play things with our fingers, the fingerings with four fingers. And then he refingered everything with two fingers. And it's interesting because so many of the riffs, and there's a lot of like sections in the book that are just riffs. Let me see if I can find that book and I can post a link to it so you can take a look at it. But so many of the riffs are easier with two fingers than they are with four fingers. It's like with four fingers, your fingers almost get in the way. So let me go to Amazon because that's where I got it from, but I got it years and years and years ago. So, let's see, Django Reinhardt guitar book. See, it's got to be in here. No. Wow, there's a lot of Django. Oh, here it is. Music of Django. Yeah, this is it here. Oh, it is a Mel Bay book though. All right, so I'm going to get you a link here. Copy. Yeah. Danny Elfman wrote the Simpsons theme. He wrote a lot of music. He did music for lots of movies. So there's that. So this is the book I'm talking about. I don't know. It says look inside. I'm not sure how many pages you can go. But there's some pretty cool, even at the front of the book, there's some pretty cool licks. You kind of get some real Django sounds very easy. So we got hey, Ab, how's it going? Adamar Silva, sorry. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Let's see. Oh, Brazil, beautiful. Brazil's gorgeous country. I've never been though. I say that without. Oh, see, this is not loading, but that's all right. But I put the link there, and then here's the Discord link. Invite people, copy, boom. All right. So we'll see. I think. I should write a review on the book. It's interesting, but I do think it's fascinating to me how many of the like licks from that Django played actually are easier to play with two fingers than four, which makes complete sense because that's all he had to work with. I mean, he had these two fingers and he could do bars with them and stuff. He would use them for some things, but they were basically fused together, so he couldn't really do a lot with his third and fourth finger. And the fingerings, pure speculation by the author's part, okay? There is so little, well, there is zero videos of him actually playing the songs in the studio when he recorded them. That's pretty rare. And so it's basically, his fingerings are based on just understanding the guitar and understanding Django's playing, and then listening probably pretty intently on what the string sounds like. And you can tell if it's, if you can definitely hear the difference between the F at the first fret of the first string and that same F at the 15th fret of the fourth string. So that if you're hearing an F note, it's probably you can tell kind of where the sonics of each of those positions is going to be different enough that you might be able to tell where he's playing it. Also, what he's coming from, what he's going to, things like that. And then just studying his playing overall, you would tend to know what he would tend to do. I'm in the middle of, I'm still reading this biography. I'm such a slow reader, at least when it comes to books, oh, no worries. So let's see, what else are we talking about here? Okie dokie, Abby. Hey, Dennis, quick update. I'm doing good, but we see how it goes. Oh. Hope you're okay, AB. Ooh. So anyway, it's noon. I'm gonna log off. Hopefully, I'll see you. I'll do a post tomorrow if everything's okay. But we're having a protest just down the street from us, and so I fully expect people to park on our street to get there, and hopefully they won't vandalize our home or break into the house or anything like that. I'm gonna be here, so. two flat notes in the melody. Not necessarily. Dorian, oh, it was a pop song? Yeah, thank you, William. I appreciate that. Let's see. Was this a song and I heard two flat notes in the melody. It doesn't matter. I mean, if there's two flat notes, that could be, if you're in the key of B flat, that's still a major key, not Dorian. So I'd have to know the song. But I know. Oh, flat two. Oh, I see a flat two chord. Right? Flat two, is that what you mean? So like if the song's in C, they had a C sharp major. I'm not sure how I would even work that into a pop song. Let me grab it. I changed guitars so you can take a sip. Oh, the flat second. Okay. Yeah, I would call that the flat second. Well, no, because the Dorian would be, wow, really going sharp here. The Dorian wouldn't have a flat second anyway. That would be Phrygian or Locrian. Those are the only scales that I know of that have, I mean, diatonic scales that have flat second. Yeah, I'm not sure how you would just, I mean, you could maybe, if you were in C, if you were using like an A7 to get as a kind of a leading chord to the minor 2 chord, then you could maybe, you know, justify the C sharp that would lead to your D maybe. A lot of it depends on what's the note value compared to the chord. If you're looking at the overall key, there's you know, to go to the flat 2 is pretty unusual, but to use the flat 2 in a melody, you're saying in a melody, to justify or to highlight a note in a chord change might be, but you would have to look at the chord change. So I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, Gypsy, run away with me in F sharp major. So, and at one point she sings a G. Yeah, I mean, that could mean she's doing like the E7, E flat 7 going to B flat minor. The minor, that's be weird. I don't know. I'm not sure why they would do that, but so anyway, okay, I'm gonna sign off. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll make some note tomorrow that I'm here, or I may even log in. We'll see. Hopefully, everything will be fine and we won't have any damage on our property or on our home, our brand new home that we just bought, saved all our lives for. Hopefully, it's standing tomorrow. Needless to say, I'm going to be moving some hard drives around. So, okay, I'll talk to you. I will talk to you soon. Okay, God bless you guys.